Hello everybody, welcome back to another video where we count down the top 10 best-selling light novel volumes in Japan for the past week. And that's the week starting on August 7th and ending on August 13th of 2017. We had a little bit of movement on the list this week. Last week, if you'll recall, I actually did the top 15 because the top 10 was so heavily dominated by one particular series. Again, that series owns 2 spots, but at least it's only 2 spots this week, and we have a bunch of other new titles on here. So let's get right into it. So starting at number 10 is that aforementioned series, which is Classroom of the Elite. Now, this one has not been licensed in English. The light novel has not been licensed yet. However, there is an anime currently airing. Crunchyroll is doing a simulcast of that anime, and clearly the anime is having some influence in Japan because this is actually volume number 2 that's at the number 10 spot with 5,251 units sold. So this series is up to volume number 6 in Japan, so you can figure, like, obviously the fact that we have much earlier volumes in the series placing in the top 10, these are brand new people jumping on board this series, and I've got to think that it's really the influence of the anime on this one. This series, of course, I talked a little bit about it last week, is about a high school that's very much for sort of the elites of society, and the main character is a kid who is in the D class, which is sort of where they put their refuse students, but yet he is about to change his life with some connections that he's starting to make. I have no idea what the anime is like because I've sworn off of watching any anime that are based on light novels in the hope that we actually get the light novels eventually licensed. I know a bunch of you said last week that the series is really good. I'm guessing some of you either are reading it in another language or are reading fan translations, but nonetheless, really good spin on this series. At volume number 9, we have another title that was actually on the list last week, and that is Uchiage Hanabi Shita kara Miru ka, Yoko kara Miru ka. Again, don't kill me for my pronunciations. I am really trying to work on it, though. This one, of course, it is Fireworks. Should we see it from the side or the bottom? Very much a slice of life type story about a girl kind of caught in a bit of a romantic and also family life situation. And the title refers to these group of friends that are debating about whether when fireworks explode in the sky, are they flat or are they actually round? And so part of the story has to do with the friends sort of, it's set against the backdrop of this upcoming fireworks display and the friends trying to figure out how best they can watch the fireworks to determine which of them is correct. Now, this is an adaptation. There's an anime movie which, well, as I'm recording this video, released today, August 18th. And so I have no idea how it's doing in Japan movie-wise, but obviously the light novel adaptation is doing quite well. This anime movie is also an adaptation of itself. There was a live-action movie a number of years ago, so this is sort of an adaptation of that. So that's at number 9 with 5,391 volumes sold. At number 8, we have Volume 1 of Classroom of the Elite. I told you I was still going to own a couple spots on this list. So again, number 1 is placing higher on the list at number 8 with 5,495 volumes sold. Clearly, I've got to say, this has to be the influence of the anime. I think there's been about 6 episodes shown so far, so about halfway through the season, and clearly the anime must be decent because, or at least it's speaking to people in Japan because they are really getting into this series. At number 7, this is a brand new one coming out this week, and at 6,047 copies sold, it is Zero Kara Hajimeru Mahou no Sho, which is Grimoire of Zero. Now again, this is a series that we have not had adapted into English officially. There is an anime, again, which apparently, I looked it up, it was licensed by Sentai Films and it aired on Amazon Strike, which would be, I guess, why I didn't see it. And we're not getting into that debate about anime strike and all the other things, so yeah, we'll just leave that one away. There is also a manga adaptation of this series as well as a spin-off. I couldn't find any information about them being licensed, so it looks like there really is nothing except the anime officially in English for this. In terms of what the series is about, this is the description that they had on my anime list. It was the year 526. The world knew that witches existed and that they practiced the notorious art of sorcery. Nevertheless, the world did not know anything about the study of magic. Our story follows a half-man, half-beast mercenary. Humans mockingly call his kind the fallen beasts. He always dreamt of becoming a human, but one day he met a witch who would change his life forever. Do you desire a human form? Then be my escort, mercenary. The witch introduced herself as Zero and explained that she was searching for a one-of-a-kind magical tome that bandits had stolen from her lair. Entitled The Book of Zero, the grimoire supposedly contained valuable magical knowledge that could be used to effortlessly bring the world to its knees. Thus, in order to realize his dream of becoming a human, the mercenary must accompany Zero on her journey, despite her being one of the witches he so loathed. This is the story of a haughty sorceress and a kind-hearted beast. This one sounds actually pretty cool. You know what? I have seen this series before. I guess when I was looking at like the upcoming anime for the season and sort of looking to see which ones were based on light novels, at the time I thought, you know what? This could be kind of a cool series. But again, nothing official at this point. At number 6, with 6,632 volumes sold, we have Ore wo Suki, nano wa Omae, dake kayo. Which again, it using Google Translate, because there wasn't really a lot on this. It is You Only Love Me. Now, I guess there is a manga on this one, as well as the light novel. Neither have been officially licensed in English. What little I could find on it, it said, question, what would you do if a girl you're interested in would confess to you? On top of that, what if there was another girl as well? A cool upperclassman adored by the whole school, and your cheerful, energetic childhood friend. I bet you would be over the moon. Thing is, what if there was an unexpected problem about the contents of that confession? So it sounds like a real sort of romantic comedy slice of life type series. This, of course, is volume number 6, and it is the newest volume. It just released, so it's not too shocking that it's on the top 10. It's a brand new volume. But yeah, again, not a series that I'm familiar with. And we've got nothing officially in English, and I couldn't find any anime on it. So I'm guessing this is a purely light novel and manga series at this point. At number 5, we actually have a one that was on the list last week with 8,755 volumes sold, and that is Bleach, Can't Fear Your Own World. Now, of course, this is a sequel to the Bleach manga and the anime. Of course, we've got the manga and the anime being released in English, or have been completely released in English. However, what's kind of cool about this book is that it's being written by Narita Ryogo, who is the author of Durarara and of Bakano. So, really decent author on this one, and I'm laying odds that Viz is going to announce the license for this eventually. Viz has been sort of the big powerhouse behind the whole Bleach series, so I can't imagine their track record for light novels is pretty much always to pick up light novels about that are sort of tie-ins to manga that they release. So I really wouldn't be too surprised to see Viz picking this one up. But at this point, nothing has been announced. At number 4, with 8,949 volumes sold, we have Monogatari. That is the Shinobu Monogatari. Now, this, of course, series, we are getting this in English. I mean, it's going to take a long time to catch up. Shinobu Monogatari is the 23rd volume in the Monogatari series in Japan. At this point, we've only just finished the 3rd arc of Monogatari in English. So we've had Kitsu, Bake, and Nisei. We are getting Neko, which is going to be released. The first volume comes out in November of this year of 2017. So we're getting it steadily at this point from Vertical Ink, but we still got ways to go. But it goes to show you just how really popular this series still is. I mean, it's still hanging up there in that top 5. And so far to date, since it released, it's sold over 80,000 copies. So Monogatari still got a long way to go. At number 3, we have, with 12,994 volumes sold, Volume 12 of Konosuba. Again, this series, like, I don't know, man. I'm guessing the books stay pretty awesome. Of course, the anime did come out. We did have that on Crunchyroll. This series, the light novels, have been licensed by Yen On. I do believe Yen Press is releasing the manga as well. In English, we are just getting the 3rd volume of Konosuba. It's being released Tuesday, August 22nd of 2017, so just a couple days. I've actually got mine on order, so I'll be reviewing that one in the next couple of weeks. So we still got a ways to go. They've got volume 12 out in Japan, but hey, at least we're getting it. At number 2, with 23,480 volumes sold, we have Death March Kara Hajimeru Isekai Kyoushitsu Kyoku, which is Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. Now, this is volume number 11 of that series. This one has been licensed again by Yen On. Also, the manga has been licensed as well. And this is another one, funny enough, that volume 3 of that series is being released in August 22nd, 2017, so in just another couple days. I did review the first volume of that. I've been waffling about whether I would pick up volume 2 and see just kind of how the series is. The first one, it wasn't bad, but I just kind of felt that the story was a little bit bland and it didn't really grab me and make me want to desperately read more. But I've been kind of the mind lately that I should try and pick up maybe, at least a volume 2 of a couple series just to give them a try and see sort of how they go. There is an anime coming of Death March. I couldn't find anywhere that there's an official release date yet, although there are some preview videos up on YouTube and such, so we can kind of get an idea of what the series is going to look like. Usually when those things start coming out, we're, within a couple months of the series releasing. Again, I don't know anything for sure because I couldn't find it. If you've found something on an official release date, feel free to leave a link in the comments so I can take a look at that. But again, I did a little bit of hunting and I couldn't find anything. And finally, in the number 1 spot with 88,158 volumes sold in its first week of release, we have volume 23 of Mahou Koko no Retose, which I know more commonly and can say a lot better as The Irregular at Magic High School. So volume 23 of this ongoing light novel series, wow, like 88,000 copies sold in a single week. This one, of course, licensed by Yen On. Volume 5, again, releasing August 22nd. A lot of these sort of top 10 series that are licensed by Yen On, we're getting new volumes in another couple of days. So yeah, volume 5. So you can see where we're way behind at this point. Of course, there was also an anime. There was 26 volumes of that anime. It is streaming on Crunchyroll. It covered volumes 1 to 7, but omitted volume 5. So at least that's what I've been reading online. So if you've watched the anime, and this might be a good month to pick up The Irregular Magic High School, because supposedly this wasn't really covered. Now, this is a series, I reviewed the first 2 volumes of it. Again, you know what? I think half of the problem I had with this series was because I had watched the anime, and I've said it a number of times before. When I watch the anime, I find it very, very hard to get into a light novel, which is why I've sworn off watching any light novel-based anime until I'm certain that we're probably not going to get the light novel. So I don't know if I can give that book series a fair shake. I think I even said it at the time. You know what? It was just not a series that grabbed me in the book format. It might be kind of interesting to just kind of jump on board after what the anime covered. I don't know. I guess I'll see how I feel. But clearly a immensely popular series still in Japan. And since they're really, well, I guess there was a new anime movie that came out of The Irregular, or it's coming. I guess I should have looked that up before I started recording this video, but I do know that there was a new movie, anime movie, that was coming out for the series, so maybe that's partly driven the sales. But again, this is volume 23, so these aren't really new sort of fans jumping on board because of the movie. These are most likely existing fans who have followed this series for some time. So again, very popular series in Japan. I mean, sold more copies than Monogatari. That's been out for a couple of weeks in its first week alone. So expect to see that one, I would say, still on the top 10 list next week. So those are the top 10 selling light novel volumes in Japan for this week of August 7th to 13th. If you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, because not only do I do these top 10 lists every week, but I also review a whole bunch of volumes of light novels as they get released in English. Thank you all for joining me in this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Till then, bye-bye for now.